Hello, children. Good morning, Shrey. How are you, Shrey?
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Ma'am, I am fine. How are you?
I'm good as well, Shrey. How are you, Govind? Shrey, so can you please tell me what is going on?
Ma'am, I have sent you the PDF of this
I
chapter.
love that. Thank you so much, Govind. Govind, you sent on my number? Okay.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Govind. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you, children?
Ma'am, fine.
How is it
Ma'am,
going?
how are you?
Classes are going. I'm good as well. It feels so good to see you people after such long time.
Yes, ma'am. 1 week, 1 class.
After a week, we get to see each other, right?
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Shanti.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I am ready with my book.
Very good. So, children, today we have to start with Swami's grandmother. Okay, please be ready. Chapter 12, Swami's grandmother.
Ma'am, we have read this.
We have read this.
Ma'am, Rashmi ma'am, there was an arrangement period and Rashmi ma'am has done the chapter. But we have not done exercises.
Okay, no worries. Everybody has done that. How many people were there in
No,
that?
ma'am. Ma'am, I was absent.
How many children were there in that arrangement lecture?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you, kids?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, we can restart the reading.
Anji?
Ma'am, we can restart the reading.
Yeah, we'll do it again because everybody wouldn't have been here. So because of
But
that,
we have done 2 times reading.
Beta, that's why I want to know how many children were there in that lecture. Just raise your hands. The ones who have read Swami's grandmother, please raise your hands. Only 2 have raised their hands. That's Agri and Parth. Adrika, you were not there in that lecture?
No, ma'am.
Fine, children, because only 3 of you have done. Gaurav, Adriya, and Parth. We will do it again. Okay, children?
Okay, ma'am.
I'm sharing my screen and we'll do the reading again so that everybody can come to the same pace.
Ma'am, PDF is clear.
It is very much clear. Thank you so much, Govind. Right?
Ma'am, I will send you all PDFs.
Thank you so much, Beta. Okay. So first of all, as you know, we begin the chapters with few exercises. Right? Here also we'll begin with the vocabulary exercise where we have to fill in the blanks with the words from the box. So first of all, do you know the meaning of
Can you tell the page number?
Gaurav,
69.
you have raised your hand saying that you have read this chapter. Don't you know the page number, Beta? Right. So children, before we have to use these words, we must be aware of the meaning of these words. So how many of you know the meaning? What's the meaning of snug? S-N-U-G, snug. What's the meaning of snug? Write it down. Use a pencil and write down the meaning above it. Snug means cozy. Right? When we sleep in a very soft bed, right? We get a cozy feeling now. Don't we get a cozy feeling, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So snug means cozy. We also know he's snuggling into his mother's lap, right? So feels cozy. Next is tremble. What's the meaning of tremble? Who will tell me?
Ma'am, can
I
I
have
tell?
read it.
Yes, Agriya.
Ma'am, come.
Tremble means come. No. Was trembling with fear. When he saw a ghost, he was trembling with fear.
Ma'am, scared.
Shake,
Scared.
kapkapana, tremble, shaking with fear. Tremble means shaking, right? Write it down. Tremble means shaking. Shake like a leaf. Shake and you can write it. Next word is faint. Just so we all know, faint means. Faint means children.
To get hurt. To get hurt.
Get hurt. No. Unconscious, right? Faint means behosh ho jana, which we call in Hindi, right? It means to get unconscious. You know the meaning spelling of unconscious, children? Do you people know the spelling of unconscious?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the spelling of unconscious part.
Okay, ma'am. UNCONSI.
No. Restful side, it will be UNCONCIOUS, unconscious. Okay?
Ma'am, can I tell of indigent?
Indigent. Indigent.
Yes, ma'am. It's ma'am shocked and angry.
What is it?
Angry.
What is
Angry or shocked.
angry
Angry
or
or shocked.
right.
Shocked.
Yes. Indignant means angry
Yes.
or shocked.
Ma'am, can I tell assailed?
Yes, teacher. What was?
Assailed means, ma'am, attract.
Assailed means
Attract.
attract. Okay. Assailed means.
Ma'am, can I tell? Ma'am, recorded.
Can you please say it again? What did you say? What was the word? Assail means attacked. ATTACKE.
Ma'am, can I tell of recounted?
Yes, it is very easy. You can also tell.
Ma'am, to tell a story of describing an event.
Found it means to remember something. Simply you can write.
Good
relate.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You can simply write relate. To narrate. Found it means you can also write to narrate a story. Right? Okay, children. Have you all written the meaning which I have told you? Ishanki, have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ishanki, Vishruth, have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Are you sure you have written? Shrey, Azhan?
Ma'am, can I tell of husband the baby fell dash in warm coat
Ma'am,
and
can I tell?
Wait a minute. Yes, what are you saying, Mita?
ma'am, I am saying that may I tell?
Wait a
The
minute.
first
We'll
one?
come to that, then you'll tell. First, let me be sure whether everybody has written the meanings or not. Has everyone written the meanings?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the first one is the baby fell
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
dash.
can I tell?
Just raise
Ma'am,
your
can
hand
I?
and ask accordingly. You do not have to say, can I? Okay. So the baby fell dash in the warm cot and fell asleep. Yes, Sanitya.
Ma'am, snug.
Very good. The baby fell snug in the warm cot and fell asleep. Very good. Next one, Govind will tell. The dash light of the dawn streamed through the half-open bedroom window.
Trembled. Trampled.
The tremble right.
Ma'am, assailed. Assailed.
Who will tell? Whether it's assailed or tremble. What will it mean? It's neither. It will neither be assailed. It will neither be
Faint.
the faint light. Faint light here means like here faint doesn't mean the light in the dawn. The light is not very bright. It's not smooth, soft kind of light. So it will be faint light. Right? Next one will be answered by Pranjal. Pranjal, third one, please
Ma'am,
check the
can-
answer. The old caretaker dashed his experiences to anybody who would listen. Pranjal, would you tell us?
Ma'am, sailed.
No. Shrey, can you tell us?
Ma'am, I know.
Shrey? He used to narrate his experiences. Now tell me which word will come.
Ma'am, can I
Ma'am,
tell?
recounted. Ma'am, recounted.
Yes, the answer will be recounted. And please, Govind, do not speak in like that. Please follow the rules of the class. Okay? Yes. Next is, little children dashed with fear when they heard the grandfather's scary stories. Yes, Ishanki.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Ma'am.
I just gave you a similar example while telling you the meaning.
Ma'am, painted.
Very good. The answer will be trembled. Little children trembled with fear when they heard grandfather's scary stories. Good. Next one will be answered by Vishrut. Vishrut, can you hear me? Vishrut Singh, can you hear me?
Ma'am, can I tell?
Gaurav Pehlajani, can you hear me? Yes, ma'am. Yes, Gaurav, tell me the answer. The children were dashed when holiday plans had to be cancelled.
Ma'am, this I don't know.
Ma'am, can I tell? Ma'am, please.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, indignant.
Yes, okay, correct answer. The children were indignant when the holiday plans had to be cancelled. Yes, last one will be answered by Pranjal. Yes, Pranjal.
Yes, ma'am. The class was so weird about
So
the
worried.
test that
So worried.
sorry, ma'am, worried about the test that they assailed the teacher with
They
questions.
assailed the teacher with questions. They attacked the teacher with questions, right? Well done, Pranjal.
Ma'am, I think
Ma'am,
is.
Anji?
ma'am, please see, ma'am, I have done all. Ma'am, I have to
Well
send on the
done,
group.
Govind. Very good, Govind. Has everybody done it? Agriya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done it, Shrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now everybody will send it to me in the group. Hurry up. Click the picture of it and send it in the group. I'll check it. Everyone, each one of you will send it in the group. All 17 participants.
Ma'am, send.
Well done. Very good.
Ma'am, today, ma'am, can I read first?
I'll send you. Just wait a minute. Let
Ma'am,
everybody
because,
send
ma'am,
it.
I don't got chance.
Okay. Everybody sending me. Hurry up. Let me see who has sent. I have got only 1, 2, 3. Everybody send it quickly. Only Sanidhya, Pranjal, Govind, Sanidhya, Pranjal has only sent. Adrika has also sent. Everybody, hurry up. Hurry up, children. Send it to me. Be fast. Beta, everybody has to send it. Parth Gupta, send it.
Ma'am, send.
Very good.
Ma'am, I'm sending.
Hurry up, kids. Send it to me quickly. Ishanki has also sent. I want each one of you to send it to me, beta. Parth, send it to me. Gaurav, Azhan, Vishrut, Naina,
Yes, ma'am, I'm sending.
Om, Sanidhya has sent. Daksh, Abhinav, Athar, Vishesh. Everybody will send. Hurry up, beta. Please send it quickly. Okay. In the meanwhile, we can begin. And the name of the story is? What's the name of the story?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, Swami grandmother.
Swami grandmother.
Swami's grandmother.
Swami's grandmother.
So beta, there is an apostrophe after Swami. What is the meaning of this apostrophe? What is the difference between Swami grandmother and Swami's grandmother?
Ma'am, Swami grandmother and Swami's. Ma'am is Swami's grandmother. Ma'am, it is
This apostrophe
Ma'am.
denotes ka, ke, ki, right? It tells us that
Yes,
we're talking about Swami's grandmother, right? Swami ki grandmother. This apostrophe
Yes,
tells
ma'am.
us about whom we are talking, right? So possession, ownership, it shows. Like this grandmother is of Swami, right? We're talking about Swami.
Ma'am, I have sent.
Okay, very good. Let us send it in such a manner so that I can check it. How have you sent, Agriya?
Ma'am, my all are correct.
Who is this who has sent it like this, which I will not be able to check? The last one. Gaurav, is it?
Yes, ma'am, he is Gaurav.
Gaurav, don't send it like that, beta. Send it properly so that I can check it properly. Yes. Okay. Yes, beta. Read. Govind, read.
Okay, ma'am. After the night meal with his head on Granny lap.
Granny lap,
nestling-
Granny's lap. You have to be very particular.
Granny's lap. Nestling close to her, Swaminathan felt very sung and safe in the faint atmosphere of cardamoms, cloves, and argon.
Okay. Stop. there.
Argon.
Thank you so much. Archinaut. What is Archon? Archinaut? What does it mean, children?
Ma'am, don't know.
Is anybody here who knows? It's just like cardamon's cloves. Argonaut again is a kind of spice, you can say, right?
Spices.
We call as supari in Hindi. You know that supari? Have you seen?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
puja and all, we use it.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
It's known as arcanauts, right? So after the night meal, with his head on Granny's lap. Lap means children.
Ma'am, thigh.
Right. Basically, when somebody
Thigh.
has crossed their legs and they have
Leg.
a lap, which we call in Hindi as godi. We say no. So he kept his head on Granny's lap, nestling close to her. Nestling means just no crumbling and just lying very close to her. Swaminathan felt very snug. Snug again means what, children?
And cozy.
Cozy. Snug means cozy. Okay. Very snug and safe in the faint atmosphere of Kajmam's cloves and iconauts. Right? What happens there was like the atmosphere was very faint, very smooth, very nice, and these smells of these spices were coming on. Right? Next will be read by Pranjal. Yes, Pranjal, read next.
Okay, ma'am. Oh, Granny, you don't know what a great fellow Rajam is. He told her a story of the first enmity between Rajam and Mani and the subsequent friendship.
Subsequent friendship. Okay. So, oh, Granny, right? Whenever we read somebody's dialogue, we should read it like a dialogue. Oh, Granny, you don't know what a great fellow Rajam is. He told her a story of the first enmity between Rajam and Mani and the subsequent friendship. Enmity means? What's the meaning of enmity? Who will tell me?
Ma'am, friendship.
Right? Not friendship, basically. You can write the first kind of meeting, how it began, how hostile, how nice he was, right? So you can write about the, like, what can you write here? The first
Ma'am, meet up.
meetup. Okay. Like first they fought. They did not become friends at first. First they become a fight between Rajam and Mani, right? and then they become into a first conflict, right? Enmity can under you can write conflict. CONFLICT, conflict. The first conflict between Rajan and Mani and the subsequent friendship. Subsequent means later that fight turned into friendship. Haven't we seen many a times, children? This happens that at first when we meet somebody, we fight with them, and later on they turn out to become our best friends. It happens now,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So please
Yes, ma'am.
this meaning beta. Enmity means conflict. Okay, everybody has written it. Pranjal, I can achieve right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is he says that how Rajam and Mani first fought. He is telling it the story. Who's telling the story to whom, children? Who's telling this to whom? Oh, Granny, you don't.
Ma'am, small boy is telling to Granny.
To Granny. And what is the name of the small boy?
Ma'am, Mani.
No,
Ma'am, Rajam.
Swaminathan. Swaminathan. It's Swaminathan is telling this to whom?
Grandmother.
Grandmother.
Granny.
Right?
Granny.
Yes, Ishanki, read next.
You know he has a real police dress, said Swaminathan. Is it was does he want a police dress for? Asked Granny. His father, his father, ma'am, what is this?
His father is the police superintendent. Do you remember we have read this in history and civics?
Yes, ma'am. Rural
Who's
administration.
police
Rural.
superintendent? Who will tell me?
Ma'am, SP.
SP.
Ma'am, SP.
Who's a SP?
Ma'am,
In charge of the police station.
He's in
I'm
charge.
in charge of the police station.
Ma'am, in charge of the police station is
Ma'am, he is in charge of all the police stations in the city.
Very good. He's in charge of all the police stations in the city. See, children, how can we relate to our chapters like this? Whatever we read in every subject is all very useful to us, right? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he says that Swaminathan says, you know, he has a real police dress, said Swaminathan. Then Granny asked, is it? What does he want a police dress for? I said, police dress ka kya karna hai? Why is he having a police dress? Right? Yes,
Yes.
Adrika, you read next.
He is the master of
father-
every police.
His father is a police superintendent. Read from here.
His father is the police superintendent. He is the master of every policeman here. Granny was very impressed. She said that it must be a tremendous office indeed. She then recounted the days when her husband Swaminathan's grandfather was a powerful sub magistrate, in which office he made the police force tremble before him, and the fierce despots of the police of the place flee. Swaminathan waited impatiently for her to finish the story, but she went on, rambled, confused, mixed up various incidents that took place at different times.
Okay. Right. So his father is a police superintendent. He is the master of every policeman here. Then he says, when the granny asked that what is he doing? What does he want to do with the police dress? Then Swaminathan told her that his father is the police superintendent and he is the in charge of all the policemen here. Right? Granny was very impressed. She said, like children, when you are reading, just see how am I reading. You also have to read like that. Your voice needs to be expressive, right? So she said that it must be a tremendous office. Indeed. What is the meaning of the words like tremendous? What's the meaning of tremendous, children?
Ma'am, meaning a very good pick of it.
A very good, a wonderful. Write it down, children. Write down the meaning which I'm telling you. Tremendous means wonderful. Office, very impressive, wonderful. Indeed means in truth. Indeed means such में कहते हैं पता है सच्ची ऐसा indeed it happened, right? Indeed means in truth. Since she then recounted the days when her husband Swaminathan's grandfather was a powerful sub-magistrate. Okay, children, recounted means, you will tell me the meaning of recounted.
May I tell?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Parth.
may I tell?
Yes, Parth.
Ma'am, recounted meaning is, ma'am, means to remember
To remember.
something.
She started remembering the days when her husband, who was Swaminathan's grandfather, who was a powerful sub-magistrate, again a post which is very, very important in the city, in which office he made the police force tremble before him. Tremble means?
Ma'am,
I
trembled.
know in Hindi. Ma'am, I know in Hindi.
I told you the meanings, children. Tremble means?
Ma'am, घबराना.
Shake. I told you tremble means to shake. Right? They used to shake before him. All the police.
To shake.
Right? They used to be so feared that they used to shake before him. And the fiercest means the strongest. Dacoits means?
Ma'am, what they called?
Dacoits. The fiercest dacoits. Robbers. Dacoits means robbers. The fiercest dacoits means the strongest robbers of the place flee. Flee means ran away. Flee means ran away. Write it down. Right? Swaminathan waited impatiently for her to finish the story. Right? He was waiting, just like he wanted Granny to finish her story as soon as she can. Impatiently means, children?
Ma'am, don't have patience.
Without having patience, irritatedly, you can say, annoyingly, right? Restless, without having patience. But she went on. She kept on telling the story, rambled, confused, mixed up various incidents that took place at different times. She was telling her things. She kept on narrating her story, right? She got confused. She mixed one thing with the another, right? And she kept on telling him the story. What's the meaning of rambled? Tell me. Ramble means talking in a long manner, talking continuously, long talks, right?
Not continuously.
Okay. Have you understood it till here, children? So he wanted to tell his story, but then Granny kept on narrating her story. About whom was Granny telling the story about?
May I tell?
Yes, Parth.
Ma'am, he was narrating the story, ma'am, about the Rajam.
No. Granny.
Swaminathan grandfather. Swaminathan grandfather.
Very good woman. She was telling the story about Swaminathan's grandfather, right? Okay. Next will be read by Shrey. Shrey, read next.
And next, can I read?
Okay, I'll give you the chance to read. Let Shrey read first. Yes, Shrey. Shrey is not here only. Okay, who else would read?
Ma'am, can I read?
Ma'am, can I read? Ma'am, I never read.
Yeah, read. Hurry up, Agriya.
Okay, ma'am. That will do, Granny. He said ungraciously.
Ungracious.
Let me
Repeat everyone after me.
Ungracious.
Say the word ungraciously.
Ungraciously.
Very good.
Let me tell you something about Raja. Do you know how many marks he gets in arithmetic? He gets all the marks. Does he, child? Asked Granny. No,
So when he
silly.
says
He
that,
gets.
that will do, Granny. When the Granny told her story, he was like, okay, Granny, that's okay. That will do. Itna hi kafi hai. Ungraciously, very rudely he said it, without being gracious, without being courteous. Okay, then he says, let me tell you something about Rajab. Do you know how many marks he gets in arithmetic? What is arithmetic, children?
Ma'am, a part of math.
A part of maths.
Part of maths.
Calculations.
To that, Granny replied, oh, does he get all the marks? Does he, child? Does he get full marks? Yes. Now next will be read by Pranjal. Pranjal, read next.
No, ma'am, can Gaurav read?
What is can Gaurav read, beta? You could have said that, ma'am. Can I read? This is not how we speak. No, we do not say can Gaurav read. Can Arshia read? We say, ma'am, can I read? Okay, Gaurav.
Okay, ma'am. He gets all the marks, does he, child? Asked Granny. No, silly. He gets 90 marks out of 100. Good, but you must also try and get marks like him. You know, Swami, your grandfather used to frighten the examiners with his answers sometimes.
Okay,
Oh,
stop here.
enough, Granny.
Okay, stop here. No, silly. He gets 90 marks out of 100. So out of 100, he gets 90 marks. To that, Granny says, it's okay. Good, but you must also try and get marks like him. You know, Swami, your grandfather used to frighten the examiners with his answers sometimes. He used to write such good answers that the examiners used to get frightened. Frightened means?
Ma'am, afraid or excellence? Ma'am, afraid.
Like they used to be shocked or they used to get scared. Like, how can somebody write like this? To that he replied, oh, enough, Granny. You go on bothering about old, unnecessary stories. Won't you hear about Rajan? He's like, Granny, enough. Like, you have told me enough of your old stories. I don't want to hear them anymore. They're not required now. आपको सुनना है राजन के बारे में? Do you want to hear about Rajan or not? Yes? Yes, Parth. Read next.
Okay, ma'am. Oh, enough, Rennie. You go on bothering about all unnecessary stories. Won't you hear about Rajiv? Yes, dear, yes. Granny, when Rajiv was a small boy, he killed a tiger. Indeed, the brave little boy. You are saying it just to please me. You don't believe it.
Okay, stop here. Now when he says, Granny, when Rajan was a small boy, he killed a tiger. Okay, children, whenever this exclamation mark is given anywhere, no, we have to realize that we have to read it. A very strong feeling is being expressed. So we must read it like that only. That Granny, when Rajan was a small boy, he killed a tiger. Indeed, that brave little boy. He says, you are just only saying it, no? Just to please me, मुझे खुश करने के लिए आप बोल रहे हो ऐसे. You don't believe it, no? Yes, Shalima, read next.
Swaminathan started the story enthusiastically. Rajan's father was camping in a forest. He had his son with him. Two tigers came upon them suddenly, one knocking down the father from behind. The other began chasing Rajan, who took shelter behind a bush and shoot it dead with his gun. Granny, are you asleep? Swaminath asked at the end of the story.
Swaminathan asked at the end of the story, right? We must read, like children have told you, when we are reading, we have to be very expressive about the reading. Swaminathan started the story enthusiastically. Enthusiastically means?
Ma'am, in very
Ma'am,
intro.
the way of that show intense and eager enjoyment, interest, or improvement.
You can simply write very excited. He was very excited. Like, let me tell you how did he do that. Rajan's father was camping in the forest. He had his son with him. two tigers came upon them suddenly, one knocking down the father from behind, and the other began chasing Rajam, who took shelter behind a bush and shot it dead with his gun. Granny, are you asleep? Swaminathan asked at the end of the story. So he started story very excitedly. He said that, okay, Rajam's father went for camping in the forest and Rajan was along with him. Then two tigers came suddenly and attacked them, right? One knocking down the father means one man like just came upon the father and he knocked down the father. Father was on the floor and tiger was on his top. And the other began chasing Rajam. The other tiger went after Rajam, who hid himself under a bush, and from there only he shot the tiger with his gun, right? And then he was like, he thought as if the granny was asleep. He asked, "Ab so gaye kya?" He asked by the end of the story. Okay, have you understood it till here, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next will be read by Nana. Nana, read next. Nana saying, Sanidhya Negi.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, I was left because of the network issue.
Okay. Sanidhya. Shrek.
Ma'am, can you please where are we reading?
Sanidhya, you have to read some. No, dear, I'm listening.
Ma'am, may I read?
Ma'am, can I read?
Pranjal will read. Pranjal have also noted. Pranjal read.
Okay, ma'am. No, dear, I am listening. Let me see. How many tigers came upon how many? About 2 tigers on Rajam, said Granny. Swaminathan became indignant at his grandmother's inaccuracy. Here I am going,
Grandmother's
Horace,
inaccuracy. Say it. Inaccuracy.
inaccuracy. Here I am going, Horace, telling
Horse.
you
I'm going horse.
horse. I am going horse telling you important things and you fall asleep and imagine all sorts of nonsense. I am not going to tell you anything more. I know why you are so indifferent.
So indifferent. Why are you so indifferent?
If different, you hate Rajam.
Right? He says that Swaminathan became indignant. Indignant means? Tell me the meaning of indignant, Gobind. I told you the meaning. I made you write the meaning. Still you do not know. So it shows that people have not even written the meanings. Indignant. Who will tell? Wow, very good. Agriya, Adrika.
Ma'am, very upset. Ma'am, very sad.
Very sad or upset, you can write. He became indignant at his grandmother's inaccuracy. He became very upset, like why is she?
Ma'am, shocked. Ma'am, shocked.
Yes, he was shocked. Like why is she not telling the right thing? It means that she has not heard the story. Here I am going horse telling you about things. He's saying I'm getting rough telling you about important things. I'll not tell you about them anymore. And you fall asleep. I was telling you such an important thing in Akshogay. Horse means rough, you can say harsh.
Ma'am, nap. Ma'am, nap.
Horse means you can say harsh. Okay. Right? You can write harsh over horse. And you're listening. You fall asleep and imagine all sorts of nonsense. You think that, okay, this is all nonsense. No? Now I'll not tell you anything anymore. I know why you are so indifferent. I know why you are because you hate Rajan, right? Okay, that's what he said.